Hey, dearest eighth graders, I wanted to go ahead and communicate with you today a few things that might be helpful over the next few weeks as we transition into online learning. I miss you guys, but we're going to make the most of our opportunity of communicating online. So I want you to first know about my availability. So office hours for me are going to be between 9:30 and 12 and then 1 to 3 each day. That means that you can contact me on the LMS chat or you can send me an email and I should be able to respond relatively quickly. If you communicate with me outside of those hours, then I may not be able to communicate until the next day. It just kind of depends on what all we've got going on. The next thing is that you can actually schedule a Zoom conference meeting with me if you want to meet face to face. So I can help you with that. I'm sure parents, older siblings can help you with that as well. So I wanted to put that out there. Please make sure that you ask questions. That's one of the main ways that I learn, and I think a lot of other people learn, and that can happen in person or online. Today, I'm really just going to focus on familiarizing you guys with the online learning format for English and for our particular site. So I'm going to give you a few tips that I have picked up through homeschooling personally, and then also through online learning in my master's program, and then also some additional classes I've taken as a teacher to learn how to teach better. I've also got a tour that I'm going to give you guys just to help you get a little bit more familiar with the English LMS site so that you don't feel quite as lost. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen, and a couple things I want to point out to you guys. You may know some of these things already, but it's always helpful to even review. So some things I've learned about learning at home. One, it's important to develop a routine. So you're going to have to work with your family on this one because lots of people in a house, you have to share space and things like that. But as much as possible, develop a routine so that you know when you're doing what, and then you're holding yourself accountable to doing those things. Also, get up at a decent time, go to bed at a decent time. You've probably heard that. And yes, we have more flexible hours to some extent, but our bodies are designed to be up during the day. And I think if we can start off refreshed in the morning, then that's going to help us to be able to do our best work. Also, get dressed in the morning. So yes, you may not be coming physically to class, and we may not even be doing Zoom conferences for eighth grade, but your family deserves to see you presentable, and it also will help you be in a mentality of, okay, I'm here and I'm ready to go. Also, keep keeping a planner, or if you haven't been, you need to make sure that you do that. Yes, the LMS site has deadlines, all kinds of information for you guys. It's even got that calendar feature, which is really nice. But you're going to have to compile for yourself all of your class deadlines and assignments, both short-term and long-term, into your planner. And that's really going to help you be more of an independent learner. You also want to create space for yourself so that people like the cat doesn't take over, or maybe he could. Say hi. That's Strider. Yeah, he's mad now. Okay, that's a good way to get rid of him. All right, so you're going to create a space for yourself. Teachers have had to do this. I've created an office space in my own room. And even as a homeschooler, I would usually camp out at the kitchen table, or if younger siblings were doing things, people were being a little bit louder, mom was cooking in the kitchen, then I could transition to the bedroom. But I still had some key places to work, and I did not do school in bed. That will put you to sleep. And it also psychologically, I've read this, it makes it harder for you to sleep because then you associate your bed with work. So that was your quick tip for that. Learning online, I would spend some time, especially today, playing around on the LMS sites. It's like giving yourself a tour. When I first came to Providence, I took a few minutes to give myself a tour, even though other people had given me one. And that's because when I'm listening to somebody else, I'm focusing more on that than where I physically am. And so you're going to need to be able to just figure out some things on your own. And we're, giving only completion day grades today and Monday, partly so that you can get used to the system. So give yourself a tour. I've got actually a scavenger hunt activity for you guys to do to help with that. Plan for margin. A lot of times we think technology is super fast, and it can be, but then it can also take longer, especially if there's a snag. So I would plan for margin. That way you've got some extra time in case there's a hiccup, and you can have time to rectify that and then get back to doing what you had originally planned to do. Along with that, I would make backup copies of things. So don't just rely on one computer, one flash drive, one version of something. Save in two different places. Google Docs is a really great resource. If you have a Gmail account, you can set that up with your parents, of course, but it's free and it gives you a place online to be able to store information. You do have to have internet connection to be able to access it. It also saves it for you as you go, so it's a little easier on that end. I would plan for time to move around and drink plenty of water. I'm mentioning those because those are two things that I'm personally really bad about. I will drink a lot of tea and not a lot of water unless I'm just really moving around, and then I get dehydrated. Also, if I'm really buckling down in my master's program and doing a lot of research or even grading a whole bunch of papers, I'll get so focused that I wear my eyes out and get migraines. So I'm telling you from experience, go ahead and make sure that you take breaks and plan for some actual physical activity. Go outside, get some good fresh air. I'm also going to post some netiquette tips on the class wall to help us know how to best communicate with each other, and just good procedural reminders for that. All right, some final thoughts. We're really going to have to be flexible over the next few weeks. And so while teachers are working on being flexible, we're doing some completion grades, going to get feedback from you guys, really work on transitioning as students and even as teacher. Talking to myself, I want us to make sure that we're flexible also with our families. I think that's a big important thing. And sometimes because it's not as visible to everyone else, it's easy to forget and take our frustrations out on one another. So let's just try to remember to be flexible, listen, ask questions, and then you can decide maybe how to best react. Be creative. This is a great thing about having learning at home, is that there's some things that you can do that you can't normally do in the classroom. So I'm going to try to explore a little bit of that as well, provide some creative options, and hopefully you can tap into that and maybe do a few things with your families. So there'll be some regular staple assignments as well. I'm not going to whack everything out. We're still doing, the main stuff, but I may provide some options where you get to engage your family members in the material that we're doing. Also during this time, if we've got, quote, extra time or more flexible time, we really want to make sure we're still focusing on the Lord and the people around us, the people we've been placed with, and that are closest to us. And I hope over the next few weeks we can discover what true leisure is and the beauty of the small things. And I'll talk more about that later. So those are just some thoughts to get us started. I'm going to go ahead and share with you the class page, at least from my perspective as a teacher. So your student page will look a little bit different, but they're mostly the same. All right, so this is going to be, along with your planner, one of your best friends, the class calendar, because it's going to tell you things due in order. And of course, you can click to the next week and look ahead. I've not posted anything yet because we're cruising in, and then things will pick up. The class wall is also where you're going to find some general information. So office hours, I've got those put there if you need a reminder. I have this video that's posted, and each day the way I'm going to take attendance, this is really important. The way I'm going to take attendance is I'm going to post a question on the class wall for that day. And you're going to just put your response. And it may be a serious question. It may be just a silly question, like, what did you have for breakfast this morning? Or what's your favorite song? That way I'm like, okay, they were here on this day. So I'll be checking that for attendance. I also want to still pray for you guys, but I want to respect privacy. So if you have a prayer request, I've got instructions here, but you can basically email those to me. All right. Over on the section where we actually have our academic stuff. So literature, we have some things for the Count of Monte Cristo, and I have some resource documents for you as attachments. I have instructions, and I often provide a couple of ways for you to turn things in because I know people have different forms of technology. So I'm trying to be flexible there and make sure we got you covered. All right, I'll have more things there as we develop quizzes and discussion posts and things like that. Composition. So this actually gets with one of your first assignments. You have a short assignment. It is not a 15-minute paragraph, but I will put 15-minute paragraphs in this shorter assignment section. But this is just a writing assignment where you get to communicate with me. And so what you'll do is you will type a response to these questions. You're going to write me a note, and you're going to tell me what are some things you're excited about with this online format and what are some things that concern you. When you see this clipboard, that's going to be an assignment that you turn in just to me. So I'm going to be the only person that sees that. When we have discussion posts, they'll have like little comic bubbles, like a cartoon bubble, and then you'll know that other people will be seeing the things that you're writing. So that's one way to know, is this private with Miss Carrier and just my parents, or is this, or are my peers going to see this as well? Something else to show you guys with composition, when we have a longer assignment, I'll put all of the things related to that assignment in one section. Finally, with grammar, we're going to do that a little bit differently. So I know some people had asked about the grammar book. Don't worry about having a grammar book. I will take care of you as we review some grammar things. Vocabulary. Some of you are really going to like this. Our quizzes, yes, they're still going to be every 2 weeks. We're still going to have our lists. But the thing you're going to like is that they're open book. Also, I'm going to give some more options than just flashcard and workbook when it comes to reviewing for that. So you can read this section, and I'll be posting some more information over the next few days. Okay. Another thing with study skills, this is where I'm going to post something like today's scavenger hunt. These are little things that are going to help you as a student. So little practical things. I'll take small grades, and I'm going to try to make sure that they're practical and helpful. This is also where you're going to get to fill out surveys that tell me what's working and what's not. So I may ask you, okay, for this paragraph, how clear were the directions? How prepared did you feel for it? How long did it actually take you to do this assignment? Because I can have my idea in my head, but I want a realistic picture of how things are looking for you guys. So that's what I'm going to take advantage of with the study skills section. Okay. All right. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and make sure you do that email via the chat. Again, you could set up a video meeting with me if you would like. And I look forward to working with you guys over the next few weeks, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.